Very impressive, Diana Nakonechny from Thunder Bay, as she bowls a 238 to advance, and now faces the defending champion, Kerrie Ryan-Ciach, one of 5 former champions in the field of 16.
Knee bends where she wants it. She hit the target, and she hit the target all right, but left up a corner pin, the 10 pin, for an opener for her.
But you know, now you go back. Remember when she was thankful she got that 7 pin? I think probably the 7th or 8th end of that prelim that she, was smiling about, almost embarrassed. There was a ball she probably thought she should have had the strike.
Well, it hit and just didn't get the results that she wanted. Going across the lane to pick this spare up, hopefully, and she's inside. Slipped a little bit on the approach. That's her first open in 11 frames. But opening up in front of this competitor is not the smart thing. Kerrie Ryan-Ciach, defending champion, trying to show us why with a hit here. Now the difference is all she has to do, not all, but she has to pick up the spare. 4 pin on the left-hand side.
Kerrie bowled a 192 in her win over Marie-Josée Albert. She'll pick up the spare. She'll pick up the first frame. All the frames now worth $100 apiece.
Nice money, nice pin money. Now I would think that having been here and won twice, she has learned the lesson, and there's one. She never used to do that years ago, but now she's getting in there, working out in her game. She takes advantage of the power behind the swing. The 10 pin remains standing.
Remember now, back in that preliminary to start, she left several 10 pins standing.
What's the ball drop over here? Right at the time when she's not too happy with the way she did that, but at the same time she managed to knock it on over. Well, that's an unusual way to wipe your bowling ball. Just rolled it on her side there, and it doesn't happen very often.
Little wrap, and over it goes.
Watch it. That is so cool to see that 7th pin go down. Watch the 7th pin, the left-hand corner pin, folks. Watch this, and it goes right over here, and watch it come from behind. Right there.
So the frame, we've split the first 2 frames in this quarterfinal. Diana Nakonechny, Thunder Bay against Mississauga's Ryan-Ciach. And after the open, Diana responds now with back-to-back strikes.
2 contrasting styles. And differential with the way the bowlers hold the bowling balls and how they swing them, but they get the results, and that's the most important part. They have consistency at the line. Right there is what she wanted. Everything goes down sideways, and here's a bowler. Watch now as she takes advantage of her size here with the speed that she uses, and she gets the knee bend and the power on it. You just have to be able to be consistent just like that. And Diana's got a double up, so Kerrie knows that she had to get that straight. Now again, watch as she goes faster. She gets more power on the ball by going faster and whipping it through, and watch her opponent as she goes through.
Whoa. That's just going to, that must haunt you. That has to haunt you as a bowler, because she's seen too many 10 pins standing.
Well, she's so close here. She swings the ball okay and gets inside just a little bit there, and the 6 pin will not carry. The bowling ball only hits 4 pins on this event, and she's getting a little annoyed with herself, but she's so consistent all the time. Now you see where she uses her speed. Now watch her opponent. Diana gets up here, very methodical with the way she starts up, lets the bowling ball sit on her palm in the back of her arm there, and she's slow, methodical, and just powers it. Look at the knee bend. Beautiful. Absolutely no other way to describe it. She takes full advantage of her sizing and ability to line up properly and just gets the power on it. But she's so strong. Look at the way she does that. No question about it. Two different tactics, but they both are the same at the line. A little hand slap there tells the story.
And that tells the story too. She picked up 2 frames, now is up 3-1 and comes back with another one. That's 4 in a row. And remember, she rattled off 4 straight in her preliminary win over Julie Johnson-Loyer on the way to bowling a 238.
And she is so consistent. Kerrie's had a little bit of a problem. The difference here is that she has left the 10 pins as against her opponent getting 4 in a row. But watch Kerrie here as she just whips that ball over, gets a little bit too much power on the bowling ball. And now what's happening here, the momentum has changed there a little bit. Diana's got 4 in a row. Kerrie is going head hunting and has to forget about it and just play her game. She hasn't had an open yet, but she's just hammering the pins. Sometimes you have to back off just a little bit. Look at the eyes. They tell you the story. She is into her game.
But the spare will give another frame to Diana Nakonechny, who has been very impressive.
Oh, she really has. And what I like about it is that when you watch her get to the line, she takes full advantage of being able to get there and get the knee bend and just stay consistent all the way through it. And right there you can see that she's concentrating. She's not even watching what Kerrie Ryan-Ciach's doing here. Kerrie's watching what she's doing. She's going to hit this thing and hammer the pins. Watch this one. You can see that one in her eyes as she's lining up just a little bit. She backed off just a hair. Watch this. She just eases up. Not quite as much. She's got the power. If anything, she's too powerful at times, but this is no doubt. And how quickly it can change. Now there's the knee bend I keep talking about, right over the top. That's like a freight train going down there, knocking those pins down. That bowling ball is a freight train in action, and I'll tell you, it is 5 in a row. There's the knee bend. She stays consistent, right over top of her head. Hey, there's a cool picture. You can see all of the shadows of the pins on the pin deck.
So we carry over. We'll play for $200 in the 7th, and it's a situation for Kerrie Ryan-Ciach. She must win the money or force the carryover. And Diana is not going to make it easy on her.
Well, with the exception of that first frame, which was the only time she's had an open in this thing, she's been clean all the way straight through with nothing but strikes. Kerrie Ryan can respond, though. She's had the ability and the talent before and showing us that she can demonstrate it. This one's going to be better.
Oh, come on. It won't go. It just won't go. $200, 2 frames to Diana Nakonechny. And that means that she will move on, beating the defending champion, 2-time winner, Kerrie Ryan-Ciach.
Well, it has to be a little bit frustrating for her, but she has got such talent. She will be definitely back on the show, or certainly in the Canadian Games. She'll be a force to be reckoned with. She leaves up a couple of 10 pins, didn't quite make the adjustments. On the other hand, there's the scoreboard, tells it all. 6 in a row. Man, oh man, it's tough to beat. Got a strike on this lane the last time. Let's see if she can do it again.
No.
A 10 pin.
Gee whiz. Always nice to see Joe here, and he is competing in men's 10 pin. And Mom Lorraine as well, making the trip to Calgary. We welcome them to your house, the Silver Dollar Casino and Bowl.
Actually, it's the first time Joe's ever come out to our center. We've competed, we've seen a lot of him over the years in different events, but it's nice to have the family come along and support the bowlers. And he's done a lot of work with his opponent. In his game, when he comes up in the men's division, he'll be hoping to do lots to his opponent and like make up for his wife here. There he is. I remember him winning a game one time where he had almost a broken foot and was so adamant that he was going to compete. It was just an amazing story. This one is an amazing story. She got 6 in a row, going for her 7th.
And has it. Wow. All right, now we start looking at the record book. The record high score in women's 10-pin play was bowled twice. 259 by the former Linda Quartus from Hamilton and Corinne Lafferty from Saskatoon.
Well, if she strikes out, she can get 279, which would give her an 11 in a row, which would be rather nice to see. She has a chance to get the high score, certainly. She's close up here.
No.
7 pin left. What a startup she's had. At 230 something in the first game, and then she's also 238 in fact. And she's pretty proud because she knows now she's going to be one of the people moving on. Shaking her head just a little bit. Nice little, probably good luck charm on her left shoulder there.
On the lapel.
Not a question on it. The 7th pin goes down, so she's got a great game up here right now. 258. That single pin that she missed in the first frame is going to haunt her just a little bit.
Chance for Kerrie Ryan now, though, to pick up a frame if she can strike here. She will not. Needs that now to force a carryover.
Kerrie Ryan was just a little bit off of her game. She actually was very lined up very well, but just a fraction off. And unfortunately for her, didn't carry the pins. She had a lot of single pins, 6 of them in fact. Knock one of those down and it makes a difference altogether in the game.
Manages to get the spare, so we'll carry over and we'll play for the final $200 in the 10th. But it will be Diana Nakonechny from Thunder Bay who advances, becomes our first semifinalist.
Out, down, back, and hits the line and hits the ball into the center, and the 6 and the 10 is remaining. Just a little bit off, and she is so close, and that's the frustrating part about it. You just don't want to adjust your game too much because you leave a couple of 10 pins or a couple of singles. But in the about the 4th frame, she started to go head hunting a little bit and never did get back into it. But the 610 goes down, so she's back into a potential 192 here.
And the difference again, and we've pointed it out over the years together, this isn't like tournament play. You can't just put this one game aside and realize you've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games maybe to make up. There's only one chance here.
That's right, and she not will take all the chances, leaves up the 7 pin again. A single pin is what cost her all the way through. That gives her 7 single pins in the matches, and that's the difference as against this lady. There it is, the story on the scoreboard. 208 in the 8th, 228. 258 is her potential if she strikes. Wow, is she lined up in this game? With the exception of the first frame where she left the 1 pin there and got a 9 count, everything else has been just about perfect. How's $700 to start with? And she can.
Not bad. No, in fact, if she wins this 10th, could win as much as 900. Will she win it here? She got another strike. Now she needs that to split the frame.
Well, what a start. 238 in the first game, and she has 248 potential right here, right now. Just an amazing startup for her.
And that's what they'll do. They'll split the final frame. It'll be an $800 quarterfinal for Diana Nakonechny as she beats the 2-time champion, the defending champion, Kerrie Ryan-Ciach, bowling a 248. What an impressive debut in the Pins game for Diana Nakonechny of Thunder Bay.